What's the need for training? We train because we care about others. We agree to stand, fight, and die for those we love. Become an asset to your community, not a liability. Visit VindictaSolutions.com. Come get some training. Acta, non verba. Deeds, not words. Hey, welcome to Vindicta Solutions. This is your Vindicta Solutions safety brief. My name is Doug Thornton. I'm the lead instructor for the Vindicta Solutions training team. Let's watch some crime together. So this one happened at a church, happened in Pennsylvania. You have a guy who either has some serious spiritual issues or some serious mental issues with a firearm, walks straight up in front of the preacher. It appears that he may be maybe 10 feet, 12 feet away, points the gun straight at said preacher, does not pull the trigger for whatever reason. Miracle happens. Gun does not go bang. From there, he's tackled by multiple members of the church, to include the pastor, and then he is from there disarmed. Let's watch this. Seconds. Takes seconds for him to walk up, point the gun at the pastor. He gets out of the way, runs behind the pulpit, and then you got members of the church who are coming up, trying to disarm him. As we're looking at it right now, I'm going to pause the video. You have a guy grabbing him from behind. You have the pastor who's in the green shirt. He's coming up, trying to grab the firearm. Meanwhile, remember that in front of everyone, or in front of these guys, is everyone that's sitting in the pews. So you have this pistol potentially being pointed straight at everybody while they're trying to get it out of this guy's hand. He's not really fighting back very much. He's in a weird state of mind from what I'm seeing, I don't want to say he's in a trance, but there's not a lot of aggression. He just, he meandered up there, pointed the gun at him. Nothing happened, got tackled. And within a matter of about 10 seconds, this whole thing is done with. Good on the staff for jumping up, recognizing what's going on, taking that advantage, taking that initiative, tackling the guy, and then, seizing the firearm, detaining this guy. You have only so much time when violence like this is presenting itself to stop the violence. Thankfully, at this point, the violence was able to be stopped without anybody being hurt, but that's not always the case. Next, we're going to go through a series of breaking and enterings. I want you to watch the amount of determination, motivation, and aggression from the perpetrator, from the suspect, as they go to either come through that door, shoot through that door, or force their way into that entryway. And then from there, look at what's happening with the people that are inside the house, the victims. Let's watch what their mannerisms are like. So here we have, in the middle of the night, this is being caught on the cameras inside of the home, which is why I always say, if you're going to have cameras, put them near your door entryways and windows. That way, if someone does break into the house, that is being filmed, because it's all going to be used in court later. Look at how they're just kind of sneaking around. They're not really, being, I guess you could say, aggressive. They're being overly cautious. They're using all their senses. They're using their ears. They're trying to listen for anything. You'll see one guy, he'll actually be stopping and actually leaning out trying to listen. And a lot of these guys appear to be empty-handed. The one who just passed by does have a knife in his hand. They go into the kitchen and they grab more knives, actually, and then what appears to be rope. The homeowner's fast asleep. He's giving you your whole dialogue right here. And here comes one of our first suspects. As you can see, he's listening. What's he listening for? Dogs barking, cat meowing, movement. He's listening for anything that tells him that there's someone over there. Now he's got spooked. He heard something, and our bad guy's starting to leave. Here's the thing to know, that the common bad guy is a coward. All right. They don't want to fight anybody, but you got to ask yourself, if they don't want to fight anybody, then what's this cord for? Is that just something that they were going to steal, or were they going to try and use this cable, this electric cable, to tie up the victims so that they can, continue robbing them or injure them? Notice they all have some sort of edged weapon in their hands. Never even looked at the cameras. Bang, first gunshot. You got a female, small frame revolver, probably a 357 Magnum, maybe a 38. So one thing that's really interesting, and once again, here he is asleep until the first gunshot goes off, and then bang, he's up. It's he's sleeping with a gun literally right underneath him. So the girlfriend, while this is going, she fires a warning shot or at them. I'm not sure if it's a warning shot or not. It appears to be. And she is keeping coverage. I'll pause it right here. She's keeping coverage on that doorway. Eyes are locked in on that doorway. All right. For the boyfriend or for the husband, if this is your wife or vice versa, if this is your husband, let them know that you're coming up behind them. Don't just run up on them. Don't just sneak up on them. Let them know, hey, it's me. Don't shoot. I'm coming up behind you, on your left, on your right. Let that person know, because they have a loaded firearm. They've already shot it once. Their blood pressure is through the roof. They're probably scared out of their mind. And the last thing that you want to happen is a negligent discharge or an unfortunate thing, as in this person now turning around and firing at you, possibly hitting you. So let your partner know, hey, partner, coming up behind you. Let your husband or your wife know, hey, coming up behind you. So this is something to maintain. This thought process is that communication is key. In our training at our shoot house, one of the things that we harp on more than anything else is communication. When you're working in teams, you've got to be constantly communicating, looking at each other, watching each other's six, watching each other's angles that the other one's not seeing. If someone's holding down cover, they're busy. What are you doing? Is there something you could be doing? So let's continue to watch. He's pressing the panic button for the alarm system, and now they're just going to maintain this security. They got the high ground currently. Wait for cops to show up. This would be the time that if you had the thought process, I would turn all the lights on in my house if possible. I want to see everyone and everything. I would not turn my lights off. And secondly, anywhere that I go, my partner, speaking in cop terms, my partner or my wife would be going with me. So if you're the person who is maintaining that coverage, you got the gun out, where the bad guys just went out of or just came in at, you need to be speaking with your partner. Hey, where are you going? What are you doing? Let's call the police. Tell them who we are, what's going on, what we're wearing, what happened. Maintain that phone call with the operator if possible. Get transferred to the incoming police officers. Start giving them SA, situational awareness of what's going on. All right, here's another one that happens real fast. You have 4 perpetrators break down the door in a it looks to be a townhouse or an apartment complex, and I believe it's either the mother or grandmother with the child or grandchild that's on the floor. The child actually ends up trying to fight the perpetrators. They all have guns. There is no muzzle discipline. They're pointing guns at everybody. This is one of those times where you got to start thinking about, how's my door reinforced? Do I keep my door locked? If my door is locked, what kind of locks am I using? Is it a standard deadbolt? Do I have a chain lock? Do I have other locking mechanisms? This is where we talk about security, the advancement of security inside your house. What kind of doors do you have? What kind of hinges do you have? What kind of locking mechanisms are you using? What type of alarm system do you have? You need to be thinking about these things. You need to try to make your home, to the best of your capability, into an impregnable castle. Yeah, this is scary. It's scary. Little kids fighting this guy in the red. They take the female in to go and get whatever valuables she can give. And you know, from what I could tell, this is just complete surprise, and speed was on their side, on the perpetrator's side. All right, next, this is coming out of, I believe, Kentucky, Warren County Sheriff's Office. This person gets their door completely obliterated and kicked in. So it's a forceful entry, and let's see what happens. Bang, bang, bang. Homeowner exchanging gunfire with the subjects, the suspects, and we're getting a common theme here with the 3 videos we've seen so far. Multiple suspects during a home invasion. So not one guy, but multiple. All right, this one is a door cam. This happened in Phoenix, Arizona, and we have the perpetrator standing right on the front porch. Once again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and homeowner immediately starts firing as soon as the door gets kicked. And there's the getaway car. So they notice the ring camera. They try to cover it up, but they do a really bad job at it. Here's one for the ages. This next home invasion happened at Magnolia Creek, League City. I want to say that's Georgia. Oh, Houston. Okay. So League City out by Houston, we got a very interesting home invasion where the exterior camera of the home out near the back door catches multiple home invaders, so multiple suspects, once again, 3 or 4 of them, and look at what they're all wearing now. What you're seeing that first guy wearing, who attempted to kick in the door, looked like a little girl trying to kick a door. He's wearing body armor, pistol in hand, gun out already, coming to kick that door open. Do you think he's there to be nice, to negotiate with you? Now he goes for a shoulder charge, and he's through. Here's the next guy, comes in, body armor, and he has what appears to be some sort of a AR-15 variant. Next guy walks in. He's not wearing body armor, but it looks like he's holding some sort of a sawed-off shotgun. Next guy comes in. He's got a pistol, appears to be a backpack, and body armor again. And then we catch some running out, and the idiot runs straight into the pool. So here's a great picture. This guy is wearing, obviously, some sort of a cheap plate carrier, probably AR-500 $50 plates. some sort of an AR-15 variant. This is starting to become a common trend in crime now. We're having suspects be more armed. They're wearing body armor. These guys are getting training. They're watching YouTube, which is filled with guys like me teaching people how to do stuff like this. Not a breaking and entering, but how to kick a door in properly, how to use angles, how to do CQB, how to do improvised marksmanship for your own personal ranges. I mean, you can watch a few of T-Rex Arms videos and learn some pretty cool shooting courses. You watch Haley Strategic, some of these other guys, and learn some pretty good shooting courses. And they have the same accessibility to trainers as you do, because many of these people are not current felons. Yeah, they're involved in felonious crimes, but until caught, they're completely legal by the system. So they're getting training. There's also quite a few of them that are coming from law enforcement. They're coming from foreign entities like foreign militaries, foreign gangs, even those who are prior service members or current service members that are involved in gang activities or violent crimes. So for the average person to sit there and tell me that they have no need to go and get trained, but yet you're going to carry a gun and not know what to freaking do with it, you're already behind on the 8 ball. You need to get some level of training. The most interesting thing about this video is that the home invaders, at least one of them, was caught. And then I want you to listen to the type of verbiage, the language used by the attorneys.
An apparent home invasion in progress, and the guys they caught got some pretty rough treatment.
Yeah, Nafisa Kareem looks into how far you can go when it comes to protecting your home.
Please, we need some help right now. Please, thank you. I won't move.
The man on the ground is one of 3 robbery suspects who police say tried to rob this home on 124A Street last Tuesday.
I was about to get ready to go to work, and then I heard screaming. So I'd locked my kids inside the house, put my alarm on, I took my baseball bat, I ran out there.
This is what Ajay Maharaj saw. The suspect restrained with a belt by the homeowners and neighbors.
I saw him on the ground, he was beat, like his face was all swollen, he has bruises everywhere.
Police say citizens' arrests are legal, provided that the suspects are handed over to police immediately and that the use of force is reasonable.
6 years ago, Toronto shopkeeper David Chen chased and tied up a shoplifter. Chen was charged but found not guilty of assault and forcible confinement.
A citizen has to be very cautious.
These criminal lawyers say citizens' arrests can be physically and legally dangerous.
You have to be very careful that you don't detain them too long or don't detain them unreasonably.
Putting a belt around someone's neck can be a very dangerous situation.
The suspect was taken to hospital for minor injuries. The homeowner's not facing charges. One of the men, 23-year-old Andre Naranjo, is still at large, but police say the citizen.
So the language used by these attorneys should tell you a few things. One, you really need to know your rights, especially within your own state. Two, you got to know when to throttle down. You got to know the right things to do at the right time, not make hasty decisions. And that just because it's a home invasion, just because it's whatever that's going on, there is part of the populace that firmly believes you come into my house, I'm killing you, and I'm going to be okay because castle doctrine, because of this law, because of that law, because of some rumor. Don't think that you're not going to be drugged through the murky waters and get dirty after any of these altercations. I can't promise you that defense attorneys, city officials, state officials, politicians, people in the media aren't going to try to tear you apart. It's one of the reasons why there are gun advocate groups out there who do carry insurance, who do represent you. That you have the insurance side and then you have the lawyer side. I don't really care. I don't have a favoritism of either, but having some sort of added protection wouldn't be a bad thing. But the verbiage used by these lawyers, to me, is disturbing because you're just trying to do the right thing, trying to protect you and your family. And obviously, The system thinks differently.
The Castle Doctrine refers to self-defense laws that allows individuals to use force, including deadly force, to protect themselves within their own homes or other legally occupied spaces without the obligation to retreat. Several states in the United States have adopted the Castle Doctrine, including California, Colorado, Illinois, Iowa, Oregon, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, and Wyoming. The Castle Doctrine is often seen as an extension of the concept of the home as a person's sanctuary, where they have the right to protect themselves and their loved ones from intruders or threats. By allowing individuals to defend their homes without the duty to retreat, castle laws recognize the importance of personal safety within one's own property. It is important to note, however, that the specifics of Castle Doctrine laws can vary between states. Self-defense laws. Type of self-defense laws adopted in each state. Duty to retreat. Duty to retreat from a threatening situation if one can do so with complete safety. Castle Doctrine. No duty to retreat before using deadly force if one is in one's home or yard. Some states include the place of work and occupied vehicles. Stand your ground. No duty to retreat from the situation before resorting to deadly force, not limited to one's home, place of work. Let's talk about open carry states real quick. 38 states allow you to open carry with no permit. There are 7 states that require you to have a permit to open carry. Minnesota, South Carolina, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, and Hawaii. 5 states prohibit the capability to open carry. Florida, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, and California. In all, there are 45 states in the U.S. that allow open carry of firearms in some form or another. However, 38 allow open carry without a permit, constitutional carry, and 7 require a permit from the local or state government.
The next one will probably be one of the more scary. The next one will probably be one of the more scarier videos that we've seen thus far. And it's what happens when parents go out and the kids are at home and the home invaders show up. When we talk about home security, and we're going to give a good briefing on home security at our family basic readiness course, you've got to think about breaking into your house from the outside in and then looking inside your house from the inside out and figuring out, how do I make my house into a hard target, not a soft target? What type of technology is out there that can help me with securing my windows, securing my doors, securing my internet, because that's another way that people are hitting us now, is through the internet, through your Wi-Fi. And from there, do you have safe rooms for your children? Do you have safe rooms for yourself if you're by yourself? And do you have the ability to contact law enforcement immediately? You know, you got to think, if someone's breaking into my house and I don't have my phone on me, I don't have my gun on me because I just woke up, I was using the restroom, I was in the kitchen cooking. I typically don't keep my gun on me while I'm cooking, right? I don't keep an AR-15 hanging, where the spoons are. So you got to have these different types of plans running through your mind in these scenarios. If I'm in this part of my house, what can I do to defend myself? What can I do to evade, if need be, escape? What can I do to harden my area that's around me? Is there stuff that I can throw in front of a door to make it harder to make entry for? These are some of the things that we used to teach our federal employees. And even then, most of them could care less. Most of them thought, nah, this will never happen to me. I'll never have to worry about this. I only show up for work once a week. If you live in that make-believe world, one day, this crime's going to find you. I hope you're prepared for it.
It's a brazen home invasion. 2 armed men burst into a house in Pasadena, Texas. 3 victims are ordered to the floor. Then, one suspect lifts one young lady by her hair and orders her to another part of the house. As the terrifying invasion unfolds, the parents, who are out for the evening, watch in horror on their Ring camera cell phone app.
Hey, who's in my house? I got you on camera.
The cops are on the way.
The cops are on their way.
My neighbors.
My neighbors are there. They're calling the cops right now. Y'all better get out of my house.
And to end today's video, we're going to leave you with 3 tips. Tip number 1, conceal carry everywhere you can where it's legal. Know the boundaries of your state laws. Also, while you are carrying, make sure that you are also carrying some sort of medical devices on you, like a tourniquet or an Israeli bandage, something that can help you with stopping the bleeding and putting on a hasty tourniquet if need be. Tip number 2, be consistent with your training. Whether it's out on the range, whether it's in the gym, you running on the road, going to boxing and MMA classes, learning how to grapple, be consistent with your training and be actively evolving and growing better and more proficient with your training. That also includes what levels of training that you're taking. If you've always taken basic gun safety courses, you need to advance in the next stages of courses. If you've always taken basic rifle courses, basic shotgun, basic pistol, maybe it's time now to advance yourself and to go to a more competitive based training, something that will push yourself so that you can develop more skills to put back into that toolbox. Tip number 3, fight for life. When you are in a fight for your life, you have 2 options. You fight to win the fight, to survive the day, and you fight to escape the fight and survive the day. Fighting is not a smart thing to do on the street, trying to brawl with somebody, trying to make believe MMA, UFC stuff on the street. This is where you're going to see many different circumstances where people are sucker punched, knocked out, and by the time they are sucker punched, head hits pavement or maybe some other hard object on the ground on their way down to falling, that person becomes rendered unconscious, has internal bleeding, and typically dies. You don't want that lawsuit on you, and you don't want that over your head. So remember that we learn these skills. We learn how to grapple so that if we get taken down, we can stand back up. Or if need be, we can take somebody down and hold them down. We learn how to strike because learning how to strike will teach you distance. It'll keep you very agile. It'll teach you how to watch for hands, which is typically one of the most dangerous things on a person is their hands. And it'll help you learn how to evade and to be more shifty, more evasive in a fight. For men who don't challenge themselves, you're not going to the gym, you're not in at least judo, jiu-jitsu, you're not learning boxing. What's your excuses? All right. I know plenty of people with plenty of excuses who will sit there with all the money in their bank account and say, man, if only I, could go and train. For us guys, we got to break the barrier. Is it because we're just nervous? We're scared to go and commit ourselves to something that we may look foolish in? Don't worry about that. Be completely okay with getting dusted on the mat and learning new skills, putting more tools in the toolbox. Trust me when I say 1 week of grappling will teach you a heck of a lot about yourself. 1 or 2 months worth of boxing will teach a heck of a lot about yourself and will literally put you above the average person in a fight. The violence is not going away. The stats have shown, stats have proved the violence is only increasing, whether it be through domestic strife, whether it be through terror, gang violence. lone wolf attacks or violence from illegal felons who are here now, the violence isn't going away. Now we have the rise of potential World War III. Gentlemen, ladies, it's time to get serious about getting prepared. You've heard the old quote, train how you fight. At our training, especially at our Shoot, Move, Communicate course, we will completely redefine that axiom. You will be fighting, and that is your training. We will be teaching these skills on the fly, one-on-one. You're going to be given the ability to get into a simulated gunfight and a follow-through on how to search people, how to walk around corners correctly, doorways correctly, how to work in teams correctly, how to manipulate different types of weapons in these closed-in environments. What are we getting prepared for? We're getting prepared to defend our home. From there, these skills only translate outside to even more different parameters. Inside of a vehicle, going inside of a store, coming out of a store, standing at the gas station, going grocery shopping. You'll find that this is all a game of angles and keeping safe distance from people. From there, it's watching people's hands, watching for what we call furtive movements. Whenever you see someone who's tapping the gun that's at their waistline or checking that pocket where they may have a shank or a knife in, we will teach you how to look at these things the way I did and the way law enforcement officers do, which is what gives us such a high survivability rate on the street. At our training, you'll be given the ability to fail multiple times at the shoot house in a safe environment that's sanitized, where you can deal with role players, you can talk with people, you can observe how other people are going through the same type of training that you'll be going through. And it is truly a growing experience for couples, for single people, for parents, even for young people, even for old people. We've had people from 18 to 70s come through this classes, single, married, it doesn't matter. Everyone can benefit from this course. If you're just starting off in firearms, you can still come to this course and still learn life-saving skills. We're not here to make you tactical operators. We're not here to make you SWAT team members. We're not here to make you Marines. We're not here to make you soldiers. We're not here to make you anything more than better prepared than you were the first day you got there. And that's our guarantee, is that by the time you leave, you will be very prepared for the next level of training that you're going to be going through. You should be constantly training. We have had people who've come out to our course now 2, 3, or 4 times in a row. So what we're doing is obviously helping some people. We've trained almost 100 people, maybe more at this point in time. We have training now coming up in June, the end of June, and then also in July, at the end of July. We'll be offering different courses going on throughout the rest of the year and into the year 2025. A basic family preparedness course, I think, is going to be one of our next courses that we're working on. Then we'll have a basic radio course, and then we'll have 2 different forms of advanced courses, and we're working on having a full nighttime course. If you're interested, please go to www.vindictasolutions.com, sign up for one of our classes. You can email the staff, either myself or the other guys, and we can sit here and we can talk to you about your preparedness level, the gear that you have. And one of the greatest things about our training is that you don't need firearms. You don't need tactical gear. You don't need to bring anything. We supply all of what you're going to need. We supply the safety equipment. We supply the firearms that you're going to be using. All firearms that we use are for training only. They are all simunition rounds, so it's either airsoft or simunition round paint rounds. My name is Doug Thornton. I'm the owner of Vindicta Solutions. Thanks for watching. Come see us. Come get some training. Be an asset, not a liability.